Scott, looking back to the victory at Newtown, it was a patient game from the New Saints that came good in the end. 2-0 victory, clean sheet, 3 points. But what are your overall reflections from that fixture?
It was a really pleasing performance, start to finish, both halves. And like you say, if you're evaluating and reflecting on the game, another clean sheet. And it wasn't a game full of clear-cut chances, but we did have other chances to score as well. First half we had a couple. Second half, off the top of my head, we've got one where we're blamed it over the bar first half, as the ball's hit him in the face, things like that. But if you're talking about in terms of possession and dominating, very, very good possession-based, a team which we are. Control the game. Every time that they won the ball back, we seemed to get it back, and it was a good one to watch as a manager because we were totally in control.
And while you were talking there, Greg Draper came in. He couldn't see you. He thought that we were doing an interview with Paul Harrison because we've just spoken to him about his 400 league appearances for the New Saints. But coming back to the present, this coming Saturday we play Connah's Quay Nomads. Whoever said time flies wasn't joking. This is match day 22, first v second, and the carrot dangling in front of the TNS players is quite clear. Win this game and go 4 points ahead into the second phase.
Yes, it is, and time does fly, it goes so quick. We're back to this stage again where obviously we're splitting next week after the cup game, so very important, vital stage of the season. With 11 games to go now, it is the business end, and it's really we're sort of ramping up training. We're making sure that the players are flying along and working at their maximum. So very important game. Training all week will be intense, just as it will be on match day on Saturday.
As far as Connah's Quay Nomads results are concerned, they've had a great season so far, just one defeat in 21. And I know you always give respect to the opposition regardless of what position or division they may be in, but this will be a particularly tough game.
Yeah, I went to see them on Saturday against Barry, and it was the wind spoiled the game, to be honest. It was very difficult conditions, but it didn't stop, and obviously that's a sign of a good side that doesn't matter if it's 0-0, they still believe they can win the game, and they did. Obviously in injury time, scored 2 goals in injury time, and like I say, it's one that a team doesn't give up, and they go to the very end, and they're organised, they know what they're doing, they know their jobs. Obviously they're well drilled, and you can see that in their play. So yes, we always know it's going to be a tough test against them.
In recent games, the starting lineup has been fairly consistent. Are we likely to see much movement this coming Saturday? Any surprises, Scott?
You never know. I mean, I always look at Connah's Quay and make sure that we can stand up to their threat, which is obviously the long ball, the throw-in, got a long throw that we've got to deal with. Barry tried, in vain to keep them out, but they just kept peppering the goal. Corn's delivery was decent, it was very difficult to defend, so I'm glad I went to see the game. It's a different story sort of on 3G, but the way they'll probably play exactly the same, come out at us and make sure that we're up for that battle. That challenge is vital, that we stand up and we clear our lines and then we go and play. And then we go and play our game, settle down and make sure that we don't just become a team that can defend against them, and it's important that we go and play our own game.
In a pre-match conference, we always talk about the opposition, of course, but back to TNS, we're in a very good place at the moment. Our last 3 games, conceded just 1 goal, scored 9, so we go into that fixture full of confidence and looking good.
Yeah, we do, and just looking at the results the other day and clean sheets and things like that, I always try to keep a track of how we've been doing and reassessing really how the season's been going, and it's been a very important period for us, and You know, you look at one defeat in 10 or 11 or whatever it was, and one draw, I think it is. But we're doing okay. But there's still room for improvement. You know, if you look at the team the other day, Jamie Mullen came out and Joe Ash came in. Sort of made us more solid in there. But we've got players that can come in, step in, and at any time can do a job. Happy with the squad. You know, for me, the squad is very good at the moment. We could do with a couple of additions only to freshen things up, but that's not to take other people's places. That's to make sure that people are on their toes and fighting for the place as well.
And the physio room is nowhere near as busy lately as it was earlier in the season. But what is the current injury situation going into this game?
A couple of knocks from the other day, but they'll be fine. They'll be training on Thursday, back to it Thursday after today's session. They're having a couple of days rest. There's a few players that we're giving extra time to because they've played every game, every training session. Don't want to mention names, but you know, someone who's been very important for us has played through probably an injury, and then we look after them the week after and make sure that they're okay for the next coming Friday or Saturday. So yeah, we're okay. We're in a good shape, and obviously looking forward to the test on Saturday.
And finally, Scott, away from the game itself, you've already referred to this particular question. We're halfway through January now. Any imminent signings for the new Saints?
We've been speaking to clubs and agents and things for a good 6 weeks, 2 months in preparation for January. But look, if we don't get anybody in, if we get one in, then so be it. But we're looking in the right areas. We're looking to strengthen where we feel the team could do with a bit of a push, a bit of a change up. But it's difficult in January because other clubs want money. No one can go on free. So our valuation sometimes doesn't get met with opposition chairman, or players decide not to come for whatever reason. We can only have a short list and work off it. So I think we'll have more news probably towards the end of the month if we do get anybody in.